Hi class, in this video we're going to be talking about mean, median, mode, and range. So to start off, the mean is when you add up all of your data points, then divide them by the total number of data points. The median is when you organize your data from smallest to largest, then you find the middle value. The mode is the value of the number that appears the most. And the range is the difference between the largest and smallest number, meaning I take the largest number and I subtract it from the smallest number. Okay, so let's find the mean, median, mode, and range for these examples here. So in this first example, I have 6 data points. What I'm going to do first is find the median, because for the median, I have to order them from smallest to largest, and that would help me find my other numbers as well. So let's find my smallest number within these 6 numbers here. Looks like 12 is one of my smaller numbers. So I'm simply going to cross out 12 here and write it down. My second smallest number is also 12. So I'm going to cross it out, write it down. Then I have 15. I'm going to cross it out, write it down. Now the next smallest number is 24. I'm going to cross that out, write it down. Now I have 31. And now finally I have 38. So these are now my numbers. Now to find median, here's what I would do. I would simply cross out the numbers until I get to the two middle numbers. So I would cross out the smallest number, the largest number, second smallest, second largest, and now I have two numbers, 15 and 24. To figure out the median now, I have to take the middle value between 15 and 24. So one way to do that is to either make a number line so you can kind of count. So if I had a number line, I'm simply going to count going up by intervals of 1 from 15 and going down by intervals of 24 until I reach the center. So what comes after 15 is 16. What comes before 24 is 23. And after 16 is going to be 17. What comes before 23 is 22. What comes after 17 is 18. What comes before 22 is 21. What comes after 18 is 19. What comes before 21 is 20. So hence, my value that I'm looking for is going to be between 19 and 20. So most likely it's going to be 19.5. So that would be my median, 19.5. There's also another way to find median. The other way is to take the two numbers that I have right now, that I'm between, the 15 and the 24, and add them together and then divide them by 2. So if I added these numbers together, 15 plus 24 is going to get me 39. And then 39 divided by 2, you can either get that with a calculator or you can use long division. 39 divided by 2 is going to be 19.5. So this is the quicker way to find the value of the median. Otherwise, you would have to kind of either make a number line on a test and then visualize how you can get there by either counting up by 1 and then counting back down by 1. And that's, or do it in your head. Okay, let's solve for our next one, the mode. I'm going to solve for the mode here. So the mode is the most commonly occurring number. So for the most commonly occurring number, I'm just going to erase these right now so I can underline them more. So the most commonly occurring number is defined as the number that occurs twice or the most in a data set. So looking at this data set here, I have 12, 12, 15, 24, 31, and 38. Notice after I organize the data from smallest to largest, it's easy to see which number repeats itself. So it looks like 12 occurs twice. So 12 would be my mode because it occurred twice and it's the most commonly occurring number. Now to find range, I just have to take my biggest number and subtract it from my smallest number. So range is going to be, okay, so range is going to be my biggest number, which is 38, subtract it from my smallest number, which is 12. And 38 minus 12 is going to be 26. So my range will be 26. So again, range is just biggest number minus smallest number. Mean is when I add all of my numbers together and then divide it by my total number of numbers. So in this case, I'm going to have 12 plus 15 plus 24 plus 31 plus 38. I have these 6 numbers that I ordered it from smallest to largest. I could also write it in this order as well. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to divide it by my total number of data points, or total number of data points. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 data points. So now I add it all together, then divide by 6. If I add all of this together, I'm going to get 132. So I'm going to take 132 and divide it by 6. 132 divided by 6 is going to be 22. So my mean is going to be 22. Okay, now let's work on our second example. So for our second example, let me just make some room here. All right, so for our second example, I have these data points here. I'm going to organize them from smallest to largest first. So it looks like my smallest number is 13. So I'm going to write 13, cross it out. Then the next one is 13. Write it down, cross it out. The next smallest number looks to be 26. I cross it out, I write it down. And the next one is 34. And then 34 again. And then it's going to be 41. Then it's going to be 53. Then 61. Then it's going to be 69. Okay, so let's find the median again first. So let's start counting, crossing these out. So my smallest number, 13. Biggest number is 69. Second smallest number is 13. Second largest number is 61. Then third smallest is 26. Third largest is 53. Fourth smallest is 34. And my fourth largest is 41. Hence, I'm left with this middle value here. Notice if I simply have a data set that is odd, my middle value, I don't have to do any tricks with number lines or to take the mean between two numbers to find the median. So because this data point here, I have 9 data points, this is an odd data set, I can simply just take the value of the middle number, which in this case is 34. Hence, that is going to be my median. Is going to be equal to 34. Okay, now let's talk about mode. So for mode is the most commonly occurring number. So which numbers repeat themselves? Looks like 13 repeats itself twice, and then 34 repeats itself twice. So because 13 and 34 are the only numbers that repeat themselves twice, I'm going to have 2 values for mode. I'm going to have 13 and 34. So 2 values in total. 13 and 34 are both my modes. Now let's find range. For range, I'm going to take my largest value, which happens to be 69, and I'm going to subtract it from my smallest value, which happens to be 13. And then the answer will be my range. So in this case, my range is going to be 56, because 69 minus 13 is 56. Great. Now let's find my mean. So for the mean, I'm going to add up all my values together and then divide it by my total number of values. So I'm going to write 13 plus 13 plus 26 plus 34 plus 34 again plus 41 plus 53 plus 61 and plus 69. So I'm going to add all these values together, and I'm going to divide them by my total number of data points, which should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 data points. Okay, so if I add everything together, I'm going to get an answer of 344. So I'm going to take 344 and divide it by 9. And upon doing so, I'm going to get 38.2 repeating. If I were to round this to the nearest tenth, I would say it's 38.2. But if I were to not round it, I would say my answer is going to be 38.2 repeating. And that would be my mean.